Yeah, what's good, yo? It's your man, KGN, KG Money. Back at it again. Hope y'all good. So today, I want to talk about abuse. Abuse can come in different forms. We experience abuse in life at different stages. But today I'm going to focus on kids. Because if you get abused as a kid, it gets carried on to your adolescence up to the adulthood. Sometimes it defines your character. It defines you. Sometimes it leads to bad habits that are detrimental to the body, to the person, and all that. So I know this has been a topic, but I just want to bring my own perspective, my observations, and how we can rectify this. You know how I always do. When I talk about things, I like to bring examples. And when I'm bringing examples, I'm bringing celebrity examples so that everybody can relate to it. So I'm going to cite examples of people that got abused as a kid and how it affected their adulthood, their adolescent stages, and shit like that. First of all, they talk about bullying. The bullying is this, you gotta stop bullying. But bullying, I don't think bullying can be stopped. Bullying is part of growing up. Because people talk about bullying, the same people that talk about bullying, they bully people online. They talk about bullying because bullying is essential. Bullying turned some of us into better human beings. Because if I wasn't bullied as a kid, I wouldn't be, as strong as I am now. Because I got bullied, I realized, I knew that, okay, I gotta be strong. I gotta stand up for myself. So bullying, I think for the most part is good. Because there have been bad occurrences that happen as a result of bullying, but it needs to be checked. Bullying needs to be checked out as well, but bullying is just part of it. Because people talk about bullying, but online, once you say something that they don't agree with, they bully you. They bully you into being shadow banned by Instagram or being blocked or your account deleted. I know that. So the same people, so there's bullying at all stages. So we ain't talking about bullying now, but I said I'm gonna cite some examples of abuse. We're gonna start with Whitney Houston. If you've seen a movie or a documentary, she was abused by her aunt. She was molested by her aunt. Somebody who was supposed to be watching after her sexually abused her. And as you can see, when she grew up, she couldn't stick to one sex, whether she was bisexual or she was lesbian or she was straight. It did, because she decided to. She had a best friend who said they were having sexual relationship along with the friendship. Then she decided to get married, which is the traditional way, because I guess she has been brought up that way. When you grow up, you're gonna get married. And obviously, she was in love with the dude that she got married to, Bobby Brown. But while she was married or while she was dating and all that, she still had her friend whom she was having sex with on the low. But they were friends. Even after she got married, she still brought this friend into their lives, into their home. So this idea, if you look at this, if you trace it back, because she was abused by her aunt, now she's sexually confused. Because so some girls, they're gonna tell you, oh, yeah, I mess with girls, but I'd rather be with a dude. But I'm I know mom messing with a girl. So they know straightforward. Because if they messing with girls, they ain't gonna put their marriage at jeopardy just because they want to mess with a girl. But you know, she was doing this at the expense of her marriage, because her husband didn't want it, but she kept. So now, what she really wants is to be with a man, but you know, she couldn't shake the fact that she likes women as well, and this is as a result of her being abused. It was carried on to her adolescent stage, to the adulthood, and all that. Another example, if you look at R. Kelly, if you watch the R. Kelly story, he was abused by his sister. She was giving him fellatio. She was riding him, having sex with him as a kid. This is his elder sister. That abuse as a kid kind of transformed into him having a fetish for underage girls. You see, him being abused as a kid when he wasn't even supposed to be thinking about sex, and it wasn't an ordinary, it was incest. Just like Whitney Houston, she was abused by a family member, her aunt. Now, R. Kelly's been abused by his own sister, his blood sister, his elder sister, same father, same mother, incestual sexual intercourse that she was having with him led him, because you know he was a superstar, or he's a superstar. He was getting girls left and right, wall to wall. But now he couldn't shake his interest, his fetish for babies, for young kids, for underage girls, illegal. That's another example. Then we got maybe Michael Jackson, right? Because you know, whooping your kids, there's a good part to it. There's also the abuse, because if you're whooping your kid as an emotional response, it's not healthy. Because most of us, me as a Nigerian kid, most of the whoopings I got was as an emotional response, because maybe I did something that my parents didn't like. They're gonna whoop you, but it wasn't whooping you to correct you. So there's the whooping that you get, you know, that comes with the correction. You know, it's healthy, because whooping is not a bad thing, but it has to, you know, wisdom has to be applied when you're whooping your kids, you know. So whooping is supposed to lead to correction, but most of our parents, they whoop you as an emotional response. So Michael Jackson, as a kid, you know, his father had a dream, which you know it actually worked, but it affected the kid, because he was being whooped while he was supposed to be a kid, just enjoying life, you know, taking it all in, soaking. You know, he got whooped by his dad for not singing the notes right, for not getting the dances right, the dance steps and all that. He blew up. He became the biggest musician on earth, but he didn't have a childhood. Now, you know, we saw what happened after he grew up. You know, even from the way he talks, you know, it sounded like a kid, and all that. So these are examples that we all can see. You know, that's R. Kelly. So I've given 3. You know, these are big stars. Look at the 3 names I mentioned. These are like the biggest stars ever. Because when we're talking about females, Whitney Houston is like the biggest. When we talk about generally males and females, Michael Jackson is number 1 overall. And R. Kelly is right there. Right? Then we got DMX. You know, we talked about his abuse and see how he turned out. He got addicted, you know, because even though he was abused by his moms, he was abused by people that he loved in the streets as well. And we see how that turned out. And then we see how he went. And this is somebody that we love so much. But even though he tried so hard, but eventually, you know, there's lots of examples. There's also the story of, you know, the dude and his wife. They used to serve cake. to kids at school. The kids in grade school, they used to serve them cake. The husband used to jizz in the cake while the wife is making the cake, the dough, mixing the dough and everything. He would put his jizz in it and serve it to the kids. This is your kids are at school, they're not even safe. So my point is, we gotta be careful, man. We gotta watch them kids, because these kids, they are the future. You taking your kids to school, you taking them to daycare. You guys to vet the place you are taking them to. And please, man, we can't be having kids. Nowadays we just having kids because we having sex. We're having sex leads to pregnancy. We keep the kid. It's better if you get married first. You get married, then you have kids. Because the fact that you're going to get married, that means you're responsible to an extent, to a degree. Because for the most part, you're not going to think of marriage if you don't have some responsibilities. Because even a woman is not going to accept your proposal if she doesn't feel safe, if she doesn't feel like you can provide and you can protect. So the fact that you get married, that brings a kind of responsibility. That means you've attained a certain level of responsibility before you even think about marriage. So now that you get married, you're operating at a level of responsibility, as opposed to you being single. You just having sex, then the girl gets pregnant and y'all keep the kid. Y'all decide to have the baby, because this leads to degenerate kids. So, but when when you have kids under the umbrella of a marriage, of a family, of a home, it leads to better outcome for the most part. So it's best you get married first, you have the kid, and once you have your kid, you got to exercise emotional control, because your kids are gonna piss you off. They're gonna do things that they're gonna go against some things that you taught them. But you got to control your emotions. Don't just go beating your kid anyhow. It's better for the man to have a job, to have a business or a source of income. Multiple sources of income is better. So to have sources of income that can sustain the family without the wife working. Because what happens? The man has got to work, the wife has got to work, so y'all leave your kids with maybe maids, nannies, family members, or y'all take them to daycare. It's better if the man goes out to work, or goes to his job, or goes to his business, and the wife is at home nurturing the kid, especially the baby years, the infant years. So if she has a passion, when they get to their teenage years, when they start getting to like 15, 16, then the moms can go and start pursuing her passion. That's why it's better for the ladies to marry when they are young. So by the time your kids are in your 30s, by the time your kids are in their teenage years, you're still in your mid-30s. You're like in your 30s, and you can still chase your passion, because now your kids are kind of grown. So you can do what you want to do, but the sacrifice has to be made. Because once you decide to have the kids, now it's about the kids. It's not about you anymore. That's why if you know you're not ready for that sacrifice, don't have kids. Because you got to sacrifice once you got them kids. So it's better for the man to have a source of income that can sustain the family without the wife working, so she can nurture them kids in them infant years, because she's there. That's her main focus. If the kids go to school, maybe they go to kindergarten, you're getting abused by the teacher, or by a staff in the school, or by another student, or something in the streets, or whatever. The woman can tell, because now she's locked in with her kid. She knows the different emotions. She understands the expression of her kid. So she can tell something wrong is happening, and she gonna hone in on that and find a solution. But when she's out of work, the kids go to kindergarten, they come home to a nanny. For the most part, they don't know what's going on. They're just guessing at this point. But if she's home, her focus is the kid. Her focus is supporting her husband, raising the kids. Then it's better that way, because that's how most of our grandmas, that's how they came up. Because now look at how shit is. So these are things we should put into consideration when you want to have kids. There's a lot of shit going on. So let's follow the levels, the stages to this. As a man, you get yourself right. You get yourself to that income status where you can take care of the family without your wife having to work. You get to that status, you get to that stage. You want to get married, okay? You don't, because marriage is not compulsory. But you want to get married, you want to have a family, you want to have kids. You get to that stage, you get your wife. Y'all have kids. She stays home, takes care of the kids. Then she's supporting you in your business and stuff like that. Then she wants to chase something. If she has a passion that she wants to do, when them kids get to them teenage years, not now, they've gotten the nurturing, they've gotten the training. Then mama can go out and do some things that she want to do, even though she doesn't have to. But now you're mitigating risk. Can it still happen? Even though the mama is home, yes, it can still happen, but we mitigate risk. There's a lower percentage of that happening because now the mama she's fully involved in the kid's life. So it's better that way. So that's just my 2 cents, because there's a lot of stuff going on. But we want to secure the future. We want the best outcome for our kids. So man, thank y'all for rocking, man. I'll see y'all later. Peace.